Mike Trout is one of the best players in baseball, and he's once again being called on to lead the Angels because they just lost Shohei Ohtani. But unfortunately, today I'm resetting him all the way down to 0 overall, and my job is to get him back to 99 overall and to win the Angels a World Series. We're gonna have our work cut out for us because when you take away Trout, this team is absolutely awful, and the magic wheel is the only way that we can earn Trout any upgrades. However, to spin that wheel, we have to get a base hit, and on the very first pitch of the challenge, Trout is gonna deliver. I can't believe he got a hit on his first at-bat because usually it takes several games, but I will absolutely take it because playing with 0 ratings is absolutely brutal as this one's blooped into right field. It has a chance, but Santander took it away. That was our first game, and Trout almost had a multi-hit performance, so this challenge could not be off to a better possible start, and it's only getting better because we're cashing in with plus 50 points, and after just one game, Trout is up to a whopping 7 overall. The biggest problem for the Angels is without Mike Trout, they are the worst team in baseball, so that means we have to get him back to 99 overall as fast as possible if we want to have success. We just got swept by Baltimore, and I thought this challenge was going to get off to a fast start, but Trout still only has 1 hit. At least we're still in this game against Miami, as Trout got one right down the middle that he's going to pop up, but I think that's deep enough to secure his first sacrifice fly of the video. Of course, the Angels pinch hit him after that, but Trout's RBI helped his team earn their first win, so we're cashing in with a wheel spin that almost lands on no boost, but it's plus 10 to hitting. This upgrade is even better than his first one, and it's going to get him up to 14 overall. Making Mike Trout the worst player in baseball was a huge mistake, but he actually gets another hit here, so at 14 overall, he's definitely off to a comfortable start, but he just popped this one up. Miami has runners at the corners in the 7th inning, and Trout's gonna pop this one up deep, and I don't think it's gonna be deep enough for a sacrifice fly as the runner's gonna stay at third. Trout may have gotten another hit in this one, but he's not gonna earn an upgrade, and that's because Trout's gonna have higher standards the higher his overall becomes, and this one's not fielded cleanly at shortstop, and Trout's actually gonna beat out the throw. That's a huge surprise to me because he still has 0 speed, but given that he's the slowest player in the league, he's definitely gonna earn a wheel spin for that one. I cannot believe how lucky he's gotten from the magic wheel so far, as we just started this challenge, and he is already up to 22 overall. It's also a huge deal that he's improving his hitting early on because that's how he's going to earn more spins, but even though he's a major league center fielder, he should really be hoping that nothing gets hit in his general direction. This is Trout's first bases loaded chance of the video, and he's actually going to come through with a single right up the middle. To my surprise, the Angels are actually beating a decent Red Sox team, and with a full count, Trout is going to draw his first walk. It is very fitting that we won his best game yet, but as expected, we're in dead last for the West, so hopefully the wheel gives Trout another good upgrade so we can get out of this hole, and once again, it absolutely does, as this is our best upgrade yet, and Trout has leaped up to 37 overall. We need Trout to continue to get better if we're going to save our season because he just doesn't have enough power right now, and I want him to be able to make some plays in the field, but his 0 ratings and everything are not helping. He is still hitless in this game, and I'm really hoping that changes because we could really use another upgrade as he reaches on an error. I guess it's actually not an error because it bounced over Brandon Lowe, so Trout gets bailed out by bad physics, and he's actually going to score a run here on an RBI single. That is his first multi-hit game of the video, and even though that was a weird way to get it, he's still going to spin the wheel, which is going to add 10 points to his power stats. We're also turning our season around after a sweep, so even though we reset all of his stats, Mike Trout is still the only thing keeping the Angels from being a dumpster fire, but he is so slow. I love all these hitting upgrades as much as anyone, but at some point, Trout's speed needs to improve because it would add another layer to his game on the base paths and in the field where he's starting to show weakness. The Angels are down 1 in the 7th, and Trout's going to come through, gapping a double into right center field. That is an RBI and his first extra base hit of the video. Thanks to Mike Trout's RBI, the Angels were able to rally back and go up by 1 run, so we're going to see if Los Angeles can hang on and win this game, as this one's hit at Trout, and he's got a very long throw to third base, as we're going to get the button combination right, but he has 0 arm strength, and it's really showing. Thanks to Mike Trout's pool noodle for an arm, the Boston Red Sox have tied this game back up, and this is an absolute nightmare because he needs to make another throw, and maybe for the future we just take the relay because that's not even close, and this runner is going to score. That is such an embarrassing way to lose this game, but thankfully he did earn a wheel spin for hitting his first double of the video, and finally, for our sake, Mike Trout is upgrading his fielding. This is the fastest I have ever seen a player improve in one of these videos, as he's no longer the worst player in the organization, and honestly, for this point in the video, a 649 OPS is actually really good. The bases are loaded for Trout in our next game against Cincinnati, and he was early on this one, but it still scores a run. We are dominating the Reds in this one, and Trout's looking for another multi-hit game, but he strikes out. His very low vision rating makes it difficult for him to get to those, as he pops out on his last at-bat, and the Angels earned the win, but he did not earn another wheel spin. We're in another series against Baltimore, and that should have been blasted, but aside from playing with 0 overall Mike Trout, we also have a very difficult schedule, so lately it's been very hard to earn more upgrades. The rest of our offense has honestly not played that bad, but Mike Trout has definitely entered a slump with a 485 OPS, so I'm really hopeful he can turn things around in this next series, but it's going to be against another playoff team. This is only the start of the gauntlet for the Angels because they're in a division with the Astros and the Rangers, and we had a big lead in this game until Minnesota rallied back, but have no fear, Mike Trout is here, a great time for his second double of the season. It had been a while since he got a hit, but he delivered when his team needed him most, so he's finally earned another spin from the wheel, and getting 100 points for his stats is a huge deal because we're spreading that across fielding and hitting, which is gonna jump Trout all the way to 58 overall. It's actually very encouraging that our team has played well without being carried by Mike Trout, because maybe they could reach the playoffs with an improved Mike Trout. They're 14-16 to start the year, and that may not be amazing, but it's much better than I was anticipating, as this one's going into the right center gap, and no matter what, I'm stretching this into 2. That is an RBI double for Mike Trout. We lost another game, but we made this one pretty close, and at least Trout's gonna earn another spin from the wheel. +5 to all stats is another great upgrade, and we're actually in really good shape to complete this challenge. We're in danger of losing another game, but Mike Trout's gonna get us on the board. He's gonna watch this one fly over the fence for his first home run of the video. He really needed that one because his power's been lacking in this video, but maybe that home run is all he needed to turn things around, as this is another double. Unfortunately though, we're still a losing team, but I will absolutely take 50 points into Mike Trout's attributes, and I cannot believe he's already up to 70 overall. However, I'm definitely worried for this game against the defending champs, but apparently I shouldn't be because Trout just went oppo for a huge home run. All the upgrades are clearly helping as he has found his rhythm. This could be another dinger, but it's gonna go off the wall in right field, and it wasn't a home run, but that's a 2 RBI double. That is 3 RBIs on the game for Mike Trout, but in the 9th inning, it looks like he's gonna pop up, except this one keeps going to the fence and over the wall for another home run. I did not think that one had a chance, but that is a multi-home run game, and obviously that's gonna let us go shopping from the magic wheel, which gives us a very needed +20 speed. Mike Trout is on a hot streak, and his numbers definitely show that. He has 24 RBIs, and his average is back up to 289. However, the hardest part of this challenge is definitely gonna be winning a World Series, because as we've already seen in this video, our schedule is very challenging, and that is another no-doubter for Mike Trout. Over the past few games, he has been on an absolute tear, and I was definitely scared of the Astros and the Rangers coming into this video, but as Trout's gotten better, we're actually beating them. We ended up losing our next 2 games, and if you know anything about the Angels, it won't surprise you that pitching's been their biggest issue so far. At some point very soon, we're gonna have to make some moves to improve this team, as Trout's looking for another wheel spin, but so far we've gotten shut out by Cy Young winner Garrett Cole, and at least he's not gonna end this game hitless. The only chance we have to make the playoffs is if Mike Trout can spark our offense, and he's off to a very good start against Seattle. Another multi-hit game would definitely secure a spin from the wheel, as this one's going back for Julio, who's gonna make the catch. That slider was left right over the plate, so that was a huge missed opportunity, and now we can't break a 3-3 tie. We won that game, and we're out of last place in the division, but obviously jumping the Oakland A's is not a flex, so there's a long way to go. Arguably, the 2 best teams in the American League are in our division, so we definitely need much more of this from Mike Trout. That is another dinger deep to left center field. It usually feels like these home runs don't do much to change the outcome of the game, but this one's gonna give Los Angeles the lead, and they would go on to win the game. Trout's first game-winning home run of the video is definitely gonna earn him a wheel spin, and +20 to any stats a weird upgrade to get, but we're gonna put it into his speed. I'm definitely surprised we're having this much success early on against this schedule, and I love the challenge of facing off against teams like the Astros, but we really need an easy series. Somehow we actually won that game, and obviously Trout had nothing to do with it, but another win would get the Angels back up to 500. Unfortunately though, we're down 1 run in the 7th, and it looks like Trout has calmed down from his hot start. He can redeem himself with a walk-off here though. We need to lock in here, and Trout's gonna smoke this one past the first baseman. It's definitely not gonna tie this game, but it will score 1 run, and that's gonna keep the game alive. All we can do is watch as our teammates faced with a no-2 count, and he pops this one deep into right field. That's gonna end this ball game. We had a decent hot streak, but it looks like our offense is finally cooling off at the worst possible time, and that is not good because aside from Reed Detmers, this rotation is not getting us to the playoffs. We can't catch a break because we're up against another playoff team, and Trout cannot get this one to drop. But after that, we put in some work, and Trout's gonna be the hero, smashing this single past the third baseman, and that's gonna score 2 runs as we take our first lead of the game. Trout came up with 2 big RBIs when it mattered most, so he's going to the wheel, and +20 to all fielding is huge for this point in the challenge. By attacking his biggest weakness, we get Trout back up to 81 overall, and the Angels are so bad that he is the second best player on the team. I'm surprised we're 1 game below 500, considering we're one of the worst teams in the league on paper, and Mike Trout's speed is on display. We're back up to 500, and somehow the Mariners are winning the division, and to my surprise, we're only a game and a half back of the wild card. I'm not allowing myself to make any moves until Mike Trout reaches 99 overall, so we definitely need Trout to improve as quick as possible, but it's been a while since he's even gotten past first base. We might be struggling at the plate because we're facing teams like the Dodgers, so the Oakland A's could be the perfect way to get us out of this slump. Somehow though, they took an 8-3 lead, so this is really not a good look for us. I am going to be very upset if the Oakland A's of all teams knock knock us below 500, and Trout was able to get aboard with a single, but they responded with 5 runs, and it looks like Trout was just underneath this flyout. I can't believe it, but we have lost to the Oakland A's 2 times in a row, and that means we're officially back under 500. Maybe we can redeem ourselves against the Detroit Tigers, and that is exactly what Mike is gonna do, launching this one into left center field for his first home run in a while. We are officially back in business with a 4-0 lead and a multi-hit game, especially since he just secured hit number 3, and that was a big win for the Angels. We need the wheel to give us something lucky if we're gonna win this challenge, and once again, we're getting plus 20 to our speed, which puts it up 1 point to 99. That was by far the best upgrade that we've had yet. We're fighting for a playoff spot, and once again, Mike Trout is carrying this team. This blast to left center field is not coming back for another dinger, and he's a step closer to another upgrade. I cannot believe this Angels team has a winning record, but it makes sense when Trout keeps doing stuff like this. That's gonna give him back-to-back games with a home run, and in those games, those have been his only 2 hits, and it's also worth noting that they were both solo home runs, so he needs to drive in more RBIs. Considering that Trout started at 0 overall, it's very impressive that he's in 9th for All-Star voting, but like I said, his RBI numbers are really what's holding him back here. It also doesn't help that Aaron Judge is on pace for over 70 home runs. We need much better wheel luck if we're gonna reach our goal before the end of the year, and plus 10 to all hitting stats is a great upgrade. That's gonna officially make Trout the best player on the team again. I am very thankful that we got this upgrade, especially because Trout's going deep into center field on his first at-bat, and this one's gonna climb the fence for a 2-run shot. I cannot express how important it is that Trout's power is in the 90s, and with that win, we're in 3rd place in our division, and we're officially in the 3rd wildcard spot. Our roster is still pretty bad, but if we can get Mike Trout back to 99 overall before the trade deadline, we can make some moves, but we only have 3 weeks to get him up by 11 overall, so that's gonna be a stretch. The bases are loaded in the 5th inning, and here's a wheel spin. Mike Trout, a no-doubter for his first grand slam. There was no doubt about that one, and that one was absolutely crushed for the biggest play of the video so far, and we just gave the business to our division leaders. Looking at this calendar, we only have 13 games until the trade deadline, so these next few wheel spins are so important to the outcome of this video, and I'm definitely putting this plus 50 into his fielding, which is gonna get him all the way up to 94 overall. I've done a lot of these 0 to 99 overall challenges, but I've never seen a player improve as fast as Mike Trout has, and all it could take at this point is 1 wheel spin to get him up to 99 overall. We are tied with Oakland coming out of the All-Star break, and Trout is unable to score 2 runners on base, and even though he's put together another multi-hit game, it's not gonna matter if we lose to Oakland. Thankfully though, his 3rd hit of this game started a huge rally, and hit number 4 makes it 11 to 5. This is the type of offensive explosion we needed, and in the top of the 9th inning, Trout is not done, blasting a no-doubter to end this game strong and give him another wheel spin. Mike Trout just had a 5-hit game, and it could not have come at a better time, and plus 20 to all fielding is exactly what we needed to nearly get Mike Trout up to 99 overall. We're gonna need 1 more wheel spin. We only have 9 games before the trade deadline to earn this upgrade, and anything can happen, so we really need to hope that that 5-hit game wasn't a fluke, as he's scoreless against Seattle, but this one's hit pretty well into the gap. It's going all the way back to the wall for another dinger. That gave us the lead, but Seattle took it back and would win this game, and while Trout's gotten better, we've fallen back below 500. This one could absolutely come down to the wire, and so far, I really like the rule of not being able to add any players until I reach 99 overall, because it really makes Trout's performance matter in all of this, and that's the point of the whole challenge. At 98 overall, Trout's gonna need to do something big to earn this last wheel spin, and the bases are loaded where he drives in 2 runs. We won that game, but I still don't think Trout's done enough to secure a wheel spin, and this home run is definitely gonna help his case. We desperately need some new players if we want to avoid losing to teams like Oakland, and Mike Trout's 3-run shot is gonna tie the game and secure a multi-home run game. He has single-handedly kept Los Angeles in this game, and this was almost another one, but it's drifting foul. No matter what happens the rest of the game, he has definitely secured another spin, but now we have to hope this can actually get him up to 99 overall, and thankfully we can max out any stat, which is gonna get Trout up to 99 overall. The first part of the challenge is complete, but we still have some work to do because we've fallen 5 games out of the wild card. First things first, I'm gonna try to fix this pitching rotation with Braxton Garrett, who's put up a very good 2.94 ERA. However, we're definitely not gonna be able to make huge trades because this farm system has no players above C potential. Thankfully though, Jordan Montgomery is still sitting in free agency, and I'm gonna take advantage by offering him a 3-year deal. The other big trade I'm gonna make though is getting Ryan Jeffers from Minnesota for Griffin Canning and a couple prospects, and that is gonna give us a very nice platoon of catchers. There wasn't really much I could do, but I feel like this team is in a much better spot to make a playoff push, and Mike Trout already has us off to a good start. I'm gonna be a little bit concerned about this team if we can't beat Washington, but Mike Trout hit an RBI. It's the 8th inning, and we're gonna be relying on our new pitching staff to shut them down because Trout popped up, and thankfully we got the win. We are 4 games out of 500, and it does not help that we're facing playoff teams like the Blue Jays, who have a 5-run lead. That was a disastrous first inning from Braxton Garrett that basically takes us out of this game, but thankfully Trout's gonna sweeten it up with a home run. Of course, we're facing another playoff team in Atlanta, and the bases are loaded for Trout, who's gonna pop this one up deep. I did not expect this team to get worse after making key trades at the deadline, but that's exactly what happened, and making the playoffs is gonna be a long shot. There is a silver lining if we don't make the postseason though, because this was a very good draft to reload our farm system, and unless we can close a 6.5 game gap in the wild card race, we are not going to the playoffs. This is a revenge series against Toronto that we're actually winning 3-1, and it really looks like our offense is starting to wake up, and Trout's gonna go deep for home run number 30 on the season. They dominated us just a few games ago, but we have flipped the script, and hopefully we can take this momentum with us going forward as we split the series. Losing this series against the Tigers would drop us 10 games out of the third wild card spot, so we need to win it. Fortunately for us, it's all tied up, and Trout's going the other way with this one, as it's gonna stay fair down the right field line. It was not looking good early on, but we pulled off the comeback, and a series win helps us climb back to 2 games below 500. I wish we could have had this team the entire season, because we would definitely be fighting for the division lead, but instead, we need a huge month of September if we want to keep this season alive. How we perform in this series against Houston could decide the rest of the season, and they're already leading 3-0, and Trout just flew out. We cannot afford this type of performance when we're 5.5 games back for the wild card, and here's a Mike Trout home run, but it's not going to do much. We did our best to improve the team, but now our only goal is to get back to 500, and at least that's going to happen as we finish 81-81. I'm going to make a couple moves to take our team to the next level in signing Anthony Santander and Willy Adames, and I also traded for a huge bat in Jorge Soler to give our lineup some more power. In just one offseason, we have turned this Angels team around, and they're ready to compete for a championship. So far, all of our signings are really making a difference, as we are off to a big lead in our division. Mike Trout is definitely trying to win the MVP this season, and his year is off to a very good start, but the Angels need him to come up big in the 9th inning, down 1 against Seattle, where he turns in a double play and loses them the game. That loss snapped an 11-game win streak, and we just lost a series to the Texas Rangers, so once again, it looks like our division could be the biggest roadblock to us winning a World Series, especially because in this revenge series, they're blowing us out. We built a very good team, but none of that matters if we cannot beat playoff level competition. At least we're still in the division lead at the All-Star break, but Mike Trout's 22 home runs and 60 RBIs are a huge reason for that, but even then, he's still on the outside of the MVP race. We still have to worry about fending off the Astros for the division lead, and Mike Trout is going to give us a 1-0 lead. It feels like our offense is heating back up at the right time, and I know I said I was worried in that series against the Rangers, but there's nothing to worry about if we play like this. It is 12-0 in the top of the 8th inning, but how about some more runs? Mike Trout going yard for a 3-run shot. That was his first multi-home run game in a while, and it would take a while, but maybe he catches Gunnar Henderson for MVP. We ended up winning 102 games in a division with 4 playoff teams, and if I'm concerned about anything, it's that most of our offense, including Mike Trout, is on a cold streak going into the playoffs. Trout finished with 39 home runs and 114 RBIs, which is honestly a lot lower than I expected. Obviously, those were still good numbers, but they weren't worthy of an MVP. However, they were able to score the first run in this game, so we're down 1-0, but thankfully, our team came through with 3 runs, and Mike Trout just hit this one up the middle to score 4. Apparently, our pitching just collapsed after that, though, so we can't catch a break, but Trout's going deep to left center field, and this one is over the fence for a go-ahead 2-run shot in the 7th. This has been an amazing game so far, and Trout helped us start the playoffs with a win. It feels like we have all the momentum in this one, especially because Trout's getting going with another home run in game number 2, watching this one go all the way to the rocks. That was another fast start, but once again, the Astros have come back to tie this game, so here's a bases-loaded opportunity for Mike Trout that he's gonna smoke the other way for a bases-clearing 3 RBI triple. Now we're up 2-0 in the series, and all we need is one more win to complete the sweep. The ALCS, on the other hand, is off to a very bad start as the Orioles lead 4-0, and we got absolutely embarrassed in game 1. If 99 overall Mike Trout can't lead this loaded lineup to the World Series, then the Angels are just cursed, and the Orioles lead 2-0 in the 5th inning, where Trout's gonna fly out deep to right field. However, we're only trailing by 1 run in the bottom of the 9th, and Trout's sending this one over the first baseman's head, and I'm not sure if this is gonna be able to score the runner, but he's rounding third, headed for home where the throw's not even close, and once again, the Angels lose. I don't understand how we're in danger of being eliminated after sweeping the Astros, but we're in real trouble. We're once again trailing by 1 run, but Mike Trout's gonna save his team with a no-doubt blast into left center field. Mike Trout saved the Angels from falling behind 3-0, and they were also able to win game number 4 to tie it up. The winner of game 5 will have a huge advantage for the rest of the series, but unfortunately, Trout's hitless performance resulted in a loss. We're facing elimination in a very close game against Baltimore as Trout gives this one a ride where it's gonna be caught. Then, of course, our nemesis Gunnar Henderson sent this to extras where where they intentionally walk me, and they're not showing me the ending, but apparently that was enough to win this game. We have fought back to force a winner-takes-all Game 7, which is tied 1-1, and our pitching staff that finished top 5 in every category has really choked in the playoffs. The entire challenge could come down to this game. Trout lines this one into right field, but it's robbed by Tyler O'Neill. I cannot believe that happened, and now we're trailing by 3 runs where we ground out, but Trout gets one more chance to tie it in the 9th inning against Felix Bautista, but he pops it up deep, and for the first time on this challenge, I have failed to complete a 0-99 overall challenge with Mike Trout. We built a 100-win team around 99 overall Mike Trout, but in the end, that was not enough. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. Please drop a like and subscribe, and click right here to see more of my content.